Well, Yvonne, salvage crews have been working over the last 5 days and 5 nights to try and free the Ever Given, that enormous container ship that ran aground on the banks of the Suez Canal last week. But it wasn't until early on Monday morning, that Egyptian time, that they had any sort of real success and were finally able to, what they describe as, partially refloat the vessel, and that was with the help of high tides. Now, what that means is it's really only the first stage in what will be a continuing operation to reopen the Suez Canal. Now that they've partially refloated the Ever Given, they'll now hope to move it to a slightly further position down the Suez Canal where it's slightly wider, where they can undertake some inspections of the vessel and hopefully not do any further damage to it. Now, at the same time, we're hoping that, well, many are hoping that traffic will resume down the Suez Canal, although it may be some days or weeks until that traffic will return to some semblance of normal. And that's because there's an enormous backlog of ships still behind the Ever Given, waiting to pass through the Suez Canal. Last count, close to 400 vessels are waiting there. And with each day that has passed, analysts believe it's cost billions of dollars to global trade. So some good news to those ships waiting to pass through, although I think there's an acknowledgement there that this will be some time until things will return to normal.
Indeed, but some good news nonetheless. How did the experts and technicians and teams of people manage to free part of the ship? What did it actually take?
Well, Yvonne, it's been an incredibly delicate operation, not just because it's it's an international operation there. We've got close to a dozen tugboats working in concert with the local Egyptian authorities, working through both the day and the night. And it's been over the weekend that they've managed to slightly part by part prise the ship away from the two banks where it was wedged and free the rudder. They freed the rudder on Friday, but it wasn't until, as I say, on Monday morning that it was partially refloated. But on top of that, added to the complexity of this exercise has been the scrutiny, the global scrutiny on this. There's been no country in the world likely unaffected by this incident. Such is the importance of the Suez Canal to global trade. And so with the world's eyes on them, it's added a huge amount of pressure, no doubt, for those salvage crews and dredgers and excavators and tugboat captains, that they'll be breathing a sigh of relief tonight.
What happens next, Tom?
Well, as I say, it's going to be a while until we see traffic return to normal along the Suez Canal. There's still a huge backlog of ships waiting to pass through, and even if traffic resumes in the next day or two, it could take weeks for those ships to be cleared and for things to look normal again. So as this operation continues, I think for the authorities, they're aware that this could take a lot of time. Some of the ships who had seen that backlog took the risk and decided to travel around the African continent, taking the long route south around the Cape of Good Hope and up to the Mediterranean along the African coast. That would have maybe almost doubled their travel time and cost them more in resources. And we won't know yet if that gamble will have paid off for some time. But it's worth noting that this has really highlighted the huge significance of the Suez Canal to global trade. I mean, it was already known, but to have held up global trade in the way it has over the last 5 days and nights. And for those who may not know, it's really an important shortcut. Without it, shipping previous to its construction in the 19th century had to take a much longer route around the African continent. So the sooner that this backlog is cleared and that the Ever Given is moving on, and the sooner the trade can resume to normal, the better.
Indeed. Massive cost to so many out there too. Tom Joyner, thanks for updating us.